Pine Valley, you couldn't have a professional event there. You just couldn't get people in the gates.
No.
And let's face it,
Cypress
Point is not fit for men's professional golf.
Welcome to Talk Birdie to Me with former world number 16 Nick O'Hearn and Tour Pro Mark Allen, live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. And thanks to our great partners, Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me, Titleist, the clear #1 ball in golf, FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Better, when the greats bet, they bet with Better. Ping will help you play your best. And the Golf Clearance Outlet, who beat everyone's prices. Now, here's Nick and Mark.
G'day everybody, welcome to the program. And Nick, I'm excited because you played Long Island Golf Club.
I did.
It's a brand new concept in golf. OCM, led by Mike Cocking these days, who is a genius, has built 3 courses in one course.
Yes.
So which course did you play?
I played, so it's all part of the National. It's their 4th course, I guess you might call it. But now, technically, they got 6 because you got the 3 down at Cape Schanck and now you got 3 at Long Island. Because there's 3 routings in one, and there's the original, the farm, and the track. And I played the track.
Right.
Now, why they're called that, I need to delve into that a bit more. Obviously, the original is more like what we had before, but one of the M of OCM, Ashley Mead, I think he had a big part of it, as well as Mike, obviously, because his family's very much the history of Long Island and that golf course, apparently.
Well, Mike Cocking was a member at Long Island too.
Well, there you go.
My understanding is that Mike would, like we all did it when we were little kids, not follow it, we just play wherever. You go from the 5th tee to the 8th green or something and play across the whole golf course.
I used to do that all the time, Orly, when it got quiet.
Yeah, that's right.
There was one hole from the 17th tee, or the old 17th, to the 8th green, the old 8th. That was the longest hole on the golf course. It was about a par 10. You just keep hitting balls over fairways, hoping to find it.
We had a par 12, I reckon, at Huntingdale. We used to play from the 6th tee to the old 15th green. From corner to corner, from just basically diagonally from the golf course. And it was great fun. Now, my understanding is Mike Cocking used to do the same sort of stuff.
There you go.
And played and had all these things in his head anyway.
So this was brilliant. And it was funny. It's hard to get a tee time because they're only putting out 100 spots each day. And
that's what they're doing at Huntingdale as well.
Yeah, just to keep rounds down.
Clever.
And I think the night before, I think I played last Thursday. And
who'd you play with?
The night before, I just saw 3, there's a spot. Boom, put it in there.
Good man. Just put your name down with anyone. 3
lovely guys. We had a great time. That's and the funny thing was, like, playing the second hole, I think it was, we're going...
So par 4?
Par 4, well...
They're the second,
but it can be a par 5.
The first can be a par 4 or
no,
the
par second
5?
hole.
The second hole, yeah.
So the thing is, as you're playing it, they're going, the guys I'm playing with, they go, I think we're going to the right on this hole. I'm like, okay, sure. Because there's another green, another one of the layouts, they play it as a par 5, and then you switch around. It's fascinating, and it's really good. But tell you what, I teed off, made a par on the first, and then all of a sudden I make 3 birdies in a row, and I'm going, how good's this place?
I love it.
How good's this place? But I shot the ugliest par round you've ever seen because I then decided to bogey 5 out of the next 10 holes and made a couple of late birdies. But had a blast. The course is in very good condition. It's interesting that the 9 that they finished well ahead of schedule compared to the second 9, which they've done, you can just tell the difference. So you actually had to adjust to the green speeds along the way because I got caught out a couple of times where I hit a putt and it just came up 6 feet short. I thought, oh, that's right. This is one of the newer greens, not the older greens.
So things have to settle.
Yeah. So, and not knowing where you're going and you hit a nice shot and all of a sudden you find yourself in a fairway bunker that you didn't know was there, just stuff like that. So, but it was brilliant. I loved it. And you know what was the best part? Clubhouse, you've got putting green in front. Now they've extended that into a massive Himalayas.
It looks sensational. I've seen it.
It is brilliant.
Into a chipping green?
And then a little chipping green and then another chipping green out the back. You could spend all day there. That was one of my favourite parts about the whole thing.
And can be their 19th hole as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
19th hole as well, correct.
So much has gone into it. Now, if you're listening along and finding that hard to understand, Dan, I've got the pictures of course A, B, and C, and we'll put them on our socials.
Yeah, sure.
When this episode drops, and then people can kind of have a look at the planning and the thinking outside the square initiative that has happened here. It's quite amazing.
It was brilliant. And I had a great time with the three guys. I think it was Michael, Mark and Kevin.
Yeah.
Thanks to those boys. We had a lot of fun. And, I can't wait to get back and play the other two routings now as well.
Well, see, the only other course that I've heard of that celebrates a different routing is the old course at St Andrews. And I think once a year they play it backwards.
They go in reverse, yeah.
Oh, I can't work out how they do it. So I'll have to explain that to me.
Yeah.
Maybe if you can find the backwards routing and send it in, I'd love to have a look.
But the great thing about it is you stand on some holes and all of a sudden you can see 4 or 5 holes at a time. The old Long Island, you could never really do that because it was very tree lined. You had a lot of tea trees and things like that. So they removed a lot of that, and then there's some double greens, typical OCM sort of thing. It was fantastic.
Well, it was a fantastic canvas. I used to love Long Island. Years ago, I qualified for my first ever Australian Open when I was in 1989.
Very good.
And that Australian Open was at Kingston Heath. I qualified at Long Island, and I can remember just thinking to myself, they had tiny little greens. And by the way, we're going to talk about tiny greens a little bit later. But it was a difficult golf course because it had tiny little greens. Anyway, well done. Now, the big talking point of the week, and it came from the Byron Nelson tournament.
The CJ Cup is what they're calling it now, but it is the Nelson, as we call it.
Yeah. Well, I think, is it presented by Byron Nelson or in honour of Byron Nelson?
Yeah.
I'm going to call it the Byron Nelson.
Exactly. TPC Craig Ranch.
TPC Craig Ranch. They weren't happy with the scores that were being shot there.
31 under won last year. They did toughen it up.
Yeah. Now, famously, and I say that with a smile on my face, Las Colinas, the old venue, was probably the most uninteresting golf course on the PGA Tour. Players weren't rapt about it, so they've tried to look for a few different venues. Anyway, they weren't happy with the low scores being shot. Tom Watson did the original design. So Tom Weiskopf did the original design, and he is a storied designer. I mean, some of his golf courses are just sensational. Anyway, they got Lenny Watkins in, and Lenny spent $25 million to toughen this course up. Now, to be fair,
they did toughen it up. It was now 30 under, not 31 under winning score.
Yeah, but look, to be fair, the guy who caddied for me in the 99 British Open was one of the courtesy car drivers.
Oh, nice.
So he was polling the players that he did. He actually had Higo. Higo, what's his name?
Oh, Gary Higo.
Gary Higo.
Yeah.
Higo told him, I'm not speaking out of school here, he said, I had the outs of my caddy anyway. It was just a nice time to get rid of him after the late to the tee.
That's right.
But Art can report that he got to his tee time 10 minutes early.
There you go. You only do it once.
So you only do it once. Yeah. But Art made it clear to me that it was windless the first few days. Yeah. It rained the first few days. The greens were soft. And for 3 of the 4 rounds, it was
Preferred lies, lift clean and place. We actually had a 59 watch on Friday. I woke up Saturday morning to watch some of the golf. Siwoo Kim just needed to par the last.
Yeah.
Now that they've changed the 18th, it used to be a par 5. Now it's a par 4, I think. So, but he bogeyed 18. So for 60.
I'd like you to help out Lenny Watkins for me, please. Because I read a report. What he did, he changed the agronomy of the golf course. So he put the fairways into zoysia grass. Instead of what we'd call couch grass.
Well, there wasn't much rough either. So
they had ryegrass in previous years, but they turned that into Bermuda grass.
Okay.
For this year, although the rough was down, it might be interesting to see a different kind of, if it was a couch rough next year, it may well be different. But the other thing that he did, he creates more pin placements now.
So he made the greens bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is a con, okay?
Yeah.
When the second you hear a golf course architect tell you that he's going to create more pin placements, it's a full-on con, because all it does is it makes for boring golf. And what's happened at TPC Craig is he's put big Aronimink style spines in some of the greens, made the greens much bigger, but where the actual hole sits is quite flat.
Right. Okay.
So
interesting.
Can we just tell golf course designers, please, the second that you make greens bigger, and this comes from experience because I saw it at Huntingdale. The second you make greens bigger with more pin placements, all you're doing is making the target bigger. So a professional golfer, it's you tell them, Nick, to put up a tier. it's much easier to two-putt from on the bottom on the wrong tier than it is to get up and down from off the green.
Yeah, heading into greens, you're not more relaxed, but you know that your miss is not going to be penalised as much.
It's an easy miss.
You know, one of the toughest courses on tour that players are always around that 10 to 12 under mark is the shortest course on tour. Hilton Head.
That's right.
And
Tiny greens.
They have the smallest greens on tour.
That's exactly right.
But the other thing is you need that.
And that's what they've got.
You need firm greens.
That's right.
It's Hilton Head. That was a Ronomink. That was the Ronomink's defence. Now, it's hard to control the weather, obviously, but it's
well, here's another one. A golf course that you're very familiar with, Woodlands Golf Club.
Yeah.
Now, Woodlands Golf Club.
Wow.
When I first turned pro, used to host Victorian Opens. And I can promise you, folks, Woodlands Golf Club, if you've never been there, it's one of the shortest golf courses in Australian tournament golf. I think it's under 6,000 metres. Like
it's around that mark. Yeah, it might be a little bit.
Well, it used to be.
It
used to be when we played.
It's still past 72. They've got 4 par 5s.
1 or 2 players used to finish under par there, and it's because the greens were rock hard and tiny.
Yeah,
and they had a bit of slope.
The wedge shot into the third hole, little short par 4 dogleg right, is one of the great wedge shots in Australian golf because if you miss, you're dead.
That's right. Even the third hole. So the third hole.
Well, that's what I mean. The third.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about the fourth.
No. Well, that's another story.
The fourth is up. The fourth is a joke. The fourth you can play. Even the best chipper can play table tennis from one side to the other on the fourth little hole, and that's a 240-metre hole.
Yeah, cracking little 4.
The fifth. It's one of the best par 3s you'll ever see on a flat bit of land, and the green is tiny. So, again, I think the razzle-dazzle of golf course architects talking to club committees, we're going to get you more pin placements. In just, I don't know, some kind of effort to say that the greens are going to be in better shape. It's wrong. It doesn't work. Go and have a look at Woodlands. Go and have a look at Kingston Heath. Go and have a look, even Royal Melbourne. The greens at Royal Melbourne, every time I looked at the yardage book, when we arrived there and played there, we were so lucky to play so many tournaments at Royal Melbourne back in our day, Nick. But the depth of the green were quite short compared to other ones, which meant you had to hit a fairway. Otherwise, it was really hard not to have a downhill putt all the time.
Yeah, well, the defence of Royal Melbourne especially is the greens are fairly large there, but they're rock hard and they play small.
Yeah, they play small.
They play small.
They are very wide greens.
Whereas you watch a lot of the courses now, like a TPC Craig Ranch,
they're huge.
They play large.
They're just huge. That's right.
Especially
given
large, they're soft as well.
They're large and they play large.
Yeah, and then the distance these guys are hitting the ball just makes it for a pitch and putt in a way. And by the way, did you hear the PGA Tour brought out the survey?
Before you do that, just while we're on it, I want to talk about the survey. What the other thing Lanny Watkins did, he put fairway bunkers where PGA Tour players would hit it. But guess what? They were perfectly raked and no issue to get to the green.
Okay.
So, Nick, you tell people when you are as sharp and you're swinging well and you're at the top of the leaderboard and you're in a fairway bunker with a half-decent lie, what's the difficulty of getting it pretty close to the pin?
No difficulty at all.
It doesn't matter.
No.
When you are sharp, a fairway bunker to a good player that you can easily get over the lip and onto the green, who cares? It's no big deal at all.
There's one defence there with fairway bunkers that they could implement, but players would go nuts, and that's just to put soft sand in there. So when you rake it, the ball sinks, and all of a sudden you can't get a clean strike, and it becomes a penalty.
Yeah.
So
well, what's wrong with deeper bunkers? Is it just purely because of the drainage on the Dallas flats, mud flats, that they have to? I spent a lot of time in Dallas. There's no sand belt in Dallas.
Right. Okay.
It's Dallas mud flats wherever you look. So maybe the drainage is an issue, and why they couldn't do it.
Okay.
Perhaps, I mean, I don't know, but look, I think fairway bunkers where pros hit it is a really good thing to do. But then there's got to be some kind of penalty. It's got to be deep. It's got to be really deep if you want the members to have a nice time and just hit their 220-metre drive down the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, scoring was crazy. It really was. A 6 under cut, which is unheard of.
On the
PGA Tour. That's a Corn Ferry Tour sort of thing. Siwoo Kim, by the way, he shot He had a 5-shot lead through 36 holes.
Yeah.
What did he shoot? He shot 65-60, I think it was. I think he was, what's that?
5-shot lead at the halfway mark?
Maybe it was 64-60.
What did he shoot in the last 2 rounds?
He shot 68-65
and
with a 5-shot lead, and he lost by 3. Wyndham Clark, who shot 60 in the final round.
Where did 20 under finish? Can you have a look for me?
Yeah, let me have a look.
Let's have a look. Where did 20 under finish?
I think it snuck a top 10.
And where did 16 under? So 16 under is 4 under each round.
Okay.
Where did 16 under finish?
Which is 67 around.
Oh, 67
because
around.
it's past 71. By the way, 20 under was tied 6th. Okay. 16 under was one guy, 18th.
One guy, 18th.
There you go.
All right. What about 3 under around? 12 under.
12 under, you're finishing tied for 40th.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what I found when I played the Corn Ferry Tour, for example.
Yeah.
I found the Corn Ferry Tour harder than the main tour because I was never a go low kind of guy. I could shoot the 4 or 5 unders.
Yep.
8 or 9 unders were tough for me.
Yep.
Given my length. Corn Ferry was set up for bombers. Right? Bombers.
Shorter
and
courses
then pitch
too.
and putt.
They were short courses.
Yeah.
They were,
less rough, softer greens,
Yep.
etc.
well, my experience, because I played it too, they were, the players who had come back from the PGA Tour and played, I think it was called the Nike Tour back then when I played it, they were all telling me that the courses on tour were really long, and these ones that I was playing were short. Anyway, over to you.
Well, I would shoot 15 under for 4 rounds on the Corn Ferry Tour. I think I've played pretty good.
Yeah.
I finished 30th.
Yeah.
Week in, week out. It was just a 25 under one every week. It's crazy because of the distance they were hitting it and the clubs and so on.
And only top 50 made the cut. So it was top 70 in ties, and then the Nike Tour was top 50 in ties. I've told this story before, but I think I finished on the cut line at this one particular tournament. The cut was 5 under par, and I was 5 under par. I shot 66, 67 on the weekend, and I went from tied 42nd to tied 22nd. I thought I was going to move to the top 10 or something. Something special.
Yeah.
Look, don't quote me on those numbers, but something like that.
I mean, it's regularly. I played a couple of weeks in a row. I shot 5 under, 6 under for the first 2 days and missed both cuts.
So tell me about this, the PGA Tour and
the survey.
The survey.
Yeah, I wrote down a few of the questions that they sent the players.
Yes, because this is all about driving distance.
Driving distance,
which is one of the reasons that golf courses, unfortunately, if you want to be considered tour worthy these days, you have to present something that's almost 8,000 yards long.
Yeah, they do these surveys every now and then, and they're just trying to get a feel for what the players think. And the few that I thought was interesting was number one was, is driving distance a problem? Okay, that's one, and they give yes, no, why, all this sort of stuff, whatever they say. Now, one of the interesting questions was what's had the most impact on driving distance in the last 10 years?
Oh, so what did the players say?
Well, I don't know. The results haven't come out yet. This is a survey they did last week.
What would you say?
Well, the last 10 years, I'd say the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Right? The last 10 years, the effects are already there. They've already gone with the bigger headed driver. I mean, number one is bigger headed drivers. The ball's probably got something to do with it.
Yep.
Now, there might be stuff like training methods, this search for speed.
Training and speed,
yeah,
absolutely
all those sorts
part
of things.
Yep.
There's a variety of factors. But if you go back 20 years, well, it's a no-brainer. It's the size of the driver head.
That's right.
Anyway.
I always tell people, this is what I tell people, Nick. When I get on tour with my steel shaft and my persimmon head, my carry yardage was 260 yards. And my swing speed was 114 miles per hour. I got measured the other day in there with the ox, and my swing speed top was 100 miles per hour. So I dropped 14.
Yeah.
And guess what my carry yardage is? It's 260 yards.
There you go.
Right. So I have dropped 14 miles per hour in speed.
Technology.
And my numbers are exactly the same. I used to hit my A9 148 yards. I probably hit it 146 these days as my carry.
There you go.
So
it's crazy.
It's you can't tell me it's not the clubs and the ball and the shafts and the fittings.
It's a combination of everything.
Yeah.
But then there are other leanings which has more impact than others. This will be one I'm going to be interesting to learn the results. Now, whether the tour publish these results, I don't know. But one of the questions is, what's the impact on driving distance when testing these new prototype balls? Because they're all testing these balls right now.
That's right.
Apparently, with Cameron Young.
Some have put the new ball that's supposed to be wound back into play now.
He's still hitting it 375 yards at Sawgrass
and
on the
winning
final
Players'
hole.
Championships with it.
Yeah.
So, well, we brought people the news of that 6 months ago.
Yeah.
We mentioned this the other day that they were having issues.
Yeah. And then
we didn't get much support on that one, did we?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Anyway,
no one seemed to care.
The last is the one which I'm totally advocated for the whole time, and they've gone, should the PGA Tour have its own rule-making process for both play and equipment rules? So what they're saying is, should we bifurcate?
Yep.
From the USGA and the R&A. Now, you got to be careful there because the Tour could make up some rules of their own if they want that, really stretch quite away from the USGA and the R&A.
I hope the PGA Tour don't. I hope the USGA make up the rule. And
yes,
the USGA,
it should come from that side.
Yeah, I hope the USGA bifurcate.
Yes.
So the R&A in cahoots, they should say if you're playing, what we always say, we don't want to sound like a broken record, but if you're playing in a men's professional event or a top amateur scratch event, then, well, I've got a mini driver. So this is the GTS mini driver, and sorry folks if you're listening in the car, but it's got GTS 300. So I imagine it's 300 cc.
Which is still looking at that. I mean, it's still
I reckon I was using a driver that size maybe 10 years ago.
Easy.
We think
this is the one.
This is the one. Now, this is the one that Tiger used in the Tiger Slam years, or something similar to this, except it had a steel shaft in it.
Was he using this in 2000? Out of interest,
99 and 2000. Yeah,
so
he used it at the US Open that he won by 13 or 14 shots.
I found a stat because I was looking at different stats, driving distance. Yeah. So in the year 2000, he was using that one. Yeah. He averaged 298 yards off the tee. Yeah, well, that's and he was second in driving distance.
That's right. It was 43.5 inches long. So do you know 2 inches under standard that you would buy off the shelf today.
Do you know where that would rank now in driving distance if he hit at 298?
Geez, almost last, wouldn't it? How far down the list?
125th.
Yeah, 125th.
So right now there's 114 guys averaging over 300 yards on the tour. Now, look, people are getting stronger, fitter, faster. I get all that. Technology, as we know, has a lot to do with it. We need to do something about it because these courses that they're trying to make tougher by lengthening it, by making greens bigger, all these different pins, it's not working.
You know what broke my heart recently? And I'm probably the only Kingston Heath member whose heart was broken when I heard this, was when Rory McIlroy described what it was like playing Royal Melbourne Composite.
Yeah.
That broke my heart. That Rory McIlroy is talking about hitting 5 irons off tees and Royal Melbourne Composite wasn't fit for purpose. That broke my heart hearing that because that should not be the case. Royal Melbourne Composite.
I think he's wrong.
Yeah, I think he's wrong.
First and foremost, he almost missed the cut.
Correct.
So sure, why don't you tear the course up like you're saying?
Yeah, hit drive wherever you like.
Because he didn't know how to play it at that point.
But when you hear a top-line player like that, someone who hits it as far as he does, talk about a golf course that I think is top 3 in the whole world. Mm-hmm. And by the way, the other two, they aren't fit for purpose. Pine Valley, you couldn't have a professional event there. You just couldn't get people in the gates.
No.
And let's face it, Cypress Point is not fit for men's professional golf. It's so short.
Well,
it's so short.
It's not if the correct clubs and things we use.
Well, that's right. Okay. If you bring it back, if you peel 20 yards off if you peel 20 yards off the big guys who are hitting it however far, and then the guys who are hitting it 190, 100. What was it? 298, like Tiger. They're in the 120s. If they're peeled off about 8, and then your club player who hits it 220 metres, they lose 3 metres.
No, just let them use what they want to use.
Whatever they want to use.
I don't mind that.
That's right.
It's a matter of making this golf club here harder to use than it is at the moment. Now, whether you peel back the distance off it, you can still hit it a long way, but you got to flush it to hit it a long way. I don't mind that.
Yeah.
It's more when you mishit it, which is what we're seeing now because they're so big and the ball, doesn't spin it. Well, it spins in a way that it wants to go straighter. That's where the problem's coming. So, anyway.
No, I agree with that. I'm also concerned, and this is hard
I want their
say.
Mishits to go sideways, put it that way.
Nick, Bruce, and everybody on the team here at Titleist, please take this in the right spirit. All right. But the ability to even get a head that's this big. So this is the club that Tiger was using, the driver that Tiger was using in 1999 and 2000.
I'm guessing that's around 250cc maybe.
Yeah, 280 when you compare it. I don't know.
Hard to say.
I don't know.
Even the mini driver looks quite large. So.
But if you started using the polymers that are in the new GTS, so this thing here has got polymers, and because it's a plastic and a very light plastic, so much weight goes back here, they'd be doing the same with this. So I also think that this one says titanium 975D on the bottom. I think the whole thing has to be made in titanium. I think they actually have to peel it back. Now, they'll still be able to fiddle with the face and fiddle with the grooves and the shaft that goes in and all that kind of stuff. And believe me, they'll eke every single metre they possibly can in the tour van at Titleist and every other maker going around. They'll be able to do it. But I think we've got to try, Nick.
Yeah. Well, it's on tour now. If you don't average 300 yards, you're in a lot of trouble.
Now, did you see the latest on Bryson?
Is he trying to decide whether to become a YouTube golfer or a pro golfer? I don't know, actually.
Well, excuse me.
Here we go.
Hang on, sorry. That wasn't supposed to happen.
What was the I didn't actually read it, but I just vaguely heard something about it.
Well, he was asked in a podcast, and I'm sorry, I'm doing it by memory, so I can't remember what podcast it was.
Whether the moon landing was real, is that right?
No.
No, okay.
Oh, yeah. Not the moon landing. They definitely went there, Bryson. Whether they did the movie somewhere else is another story, but they definitely landed on the moon, so stop carrying on. Where was it? Bryson. He was talking about what he wants to do, whether he wants to be a podcaster or a professional golfer. Can we just say, hey, Bryson, we want you to be a professional golfer. What's all this stuff about? I mean, just go back to the PGA Tour, play the bare minimum of tournaments if you want, and just, wouldn't it be great to see the best players in the world all playing together again?
Yeah. No,
wouldn't that be just fantastic?
And at the same time, Bryson, I really don't care, mate. Do what you want to do. It's up to you. Live your life. So he's been given a gift and people would love to see you on the tour. That'd be great. I'm sure the YouTube creators would love to see you there as well, but do what you want to do.
Oh, look, half
doesn't
the
bother me either way.
I think it's absolute crap.
Yeah.
I think it's absolute garbage. I mean, as if he's just going to play the 4 majors and as if that's going to happen. I mean, and if you do it in spite, I mean, honestly, what the hell is going on?
I saw Liv came out there trying to raise $250 million now, I think, to make it sustainable and profitable within a couple of years. So.
250 would be Live Light.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how they're going to...
what they have been spending.
So it'd become a very different product though, wouldn't it, I imagine?
Yeah.
So concerts would go, I'm guessing, and things like that. I don't know.
I don't know. Well, maybe the concert stays.
Maybe
the concert stays and just the big names go.
Live louder with, I'm not sure.
I think the concerts cost too much to put on compared to some of the other bigger costs. Guys, you got a plus for golf this week for Host Plus?
Yes, I do. And that was the concert. Now, you got to take me down there. You don't take me anywhere, Nick. You never take me to these places. You're so selfish. But
let me get a tea time for you, mate, because I'm struggling to get a tea time, okay? Well,
we'll get Mike coffee. We'll call Mike.
Oh, there you go.
But I think what's happened at Long Island and the fact that it's opened and this new concept.
I think it's a world first, isn't it?
It would have to be to where they've got just 18 greens, but they've got, have they?
No, there's more.
19, 20 greens?
Yeah, there is more.
There's 19 or 20 greens and there are 3 courses.
Because I noticed the other day.
On the same plot.
I'd say there were 3 greens or 4 greens out of play when I played it because you don't play to that green on this particular routing or something like that. Anyway.
So this week's Host Plus, big plus for golf, is the Long Island Golf Club, the National Golf Club. Congratulations. I'm dying to see it. I cannot wait.
I know all the national members love it.
Do they?
And it's just brilliant.
I had some friends, Matt, who I know he listens in his truck all the time, and Matt's become a golfer in the last 3 or 4 years.
Really? Oh, cool.
He and his wife Sam, they both play, and Matt, listening to our podcast, has gone to Royal Adelaide and played it. He went to Commonwealth and got on Commonwealth and played.
Wow.
He's joined Flinders. He and his wife have joined Flinders.
How good is that?
And he is loving golf. Now, Matt, I don't know how you're going to get on Long Island, but Long Island's next one on your plot because you've got to get down there. And
indeed,
I've got to bring him to Kingston Heath at one stage as well. We've got some mutual friends. So he's going to come to Kingston Heath as well. Top 5?
That's your turn.
What do you want me to do last week?
Well, last week was the top 5 nice guys. Yeah, top 5 arseholes this week. But you said you're not going to do it, right?
I can't name names, but what I might do is top 5 things arsehole professional golfers do on the golf course.
But you've seen.
That I've seen.
But you've seen. Okay.
I won't name names.
Okay.
It won't be hard to guess, though. Won't be hard to guess.
Okay.
That's next.
Oh, now, before we go to the turn, Nick, I think we need to just have a minute's silence for Mark feeling hard done by not getting invited to
spend more time. Pause.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to do.
Power tools, battery packs, chargers running long after the job's done. Tradies rely on lithium batteries, but overcharging can shorten battery life or create a serious risk of fire at home. SwitchStar power points automatically cut power after up to 8 hours of charging. No apps, no Wi-Fi, just plug in and walk away. When you forget, SwitchStar doesn't. SwitchStar, every home should have one.
From Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, this is Talk Birdie to Me. Host Plus, the official retirement partner of Talk Birdie to Me. The golf clearance outlet, they beat everyone's prices. Ping will help you play your best. And better, ahead of the game. Now for Titleist, the #1 ball in golf, and FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. Here's Nick and Mark.
Let's go.
Okay, we're rolling.
Okie doke, welcome back. Time for the better top 5. Is there any music that goes here, Dan?
Yes.
Play the music.
Top 5, top 5, top 5. The top 5 for better. When the greats bet, they bet with better.
Top 5, top 5, top 5. Oh, it's good to know you're across the nuances of the show, Mark.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
This week.
So what is it again? Top 5?
Without naming names.
Yes.
The top 5 shitty things a professional golfer will do just to annoy you.
Okay.
Just because he thinks he can get away with it.
Okay.
Just because he's a pain in the ass.
Or they've done that they don't realise they're doing, maybe, because I had one of those once where a guy, I'm just going to get straight in there.
Don't ping.
No.
It's not one of my top 5. Go on.
Oh,
go on.
Do you want me to wait?
No, you can
okay.
Put it in there. I'll find something else.
I'm grinding to make the cut.
Yeah.
Grinding. European Tour, Deutsche Bank, Alana's caddying for me. This is our first year over there in Europe. And my playing partner is missing the cut. So he's on his phone booking flights out of there while I'm trying to grind and make the cut. So I'll never forgive this person for that, not naming names.
Country
of origin? No, not going to go there.
Country of origin?
England.
Excellent.
I'll leave it at that.
I know exactly who it is now.
Oh, no.
I do.
Don't even bother.
Lives in Florida these days.
No.
Yes.
No.
No. Yes.
No.
Oh.
Okay.
No, he doesn't. I don't think he does. Anyway.
Nick, okay, hang on. Let's Nick,
no, not naming names.
Look in your camera, and if he does not live in Florida now, say to that camera, he does not live in Florida. Look in the camera.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Okay. You had some interesting hairstyles early on.
Not going to do it.
That'll do.
No.
All right, that'll do. Now, there's number 6. Well done for getting your 6 in. Now, this one, I used to think that they didn't know what they were doing, and they was just, they were nervous.
Okay.
But in the end, I completely flipped. When you are hitting off and their hand is in their pocket, and they're rattling the coin. In the old days, the market. What are you doing? Stop it. Get your hands out of your pockets and stop playing with those coins when everything's nice and quiet.
I remember in junior days, I used to play with, and they actually were doing it accidentally.
Yeah.
And you just say, look, do you need some change for the phone call you're trying to make, or what? So,
caddies, big time caddies would do it.
Yeah.
Arseholes. Number 4. They've copped a bad lie or a plugged lie somewhere. They've made their bogey, and you get to the next hole, you hit your drive, they hit their drive, and you're walking off.
Yep.
And they come up, they make an effort to come next to you. and they start telling you their tale of woe.
They got unlucky or something.
Oh, I got the plug lie. Did you see the plug lie back there? Did you see the divot I was in back on the tee?
You know what I always wanted to used to say to him?
What?
Good.
That's right.
We don't care.
Nobody cares.
It's like the famous story of the guy who was in the locker room after the round telling everyone, oh, geez, I was just so unlucky. He shot 75 or something. Yeah. Everyone in that locker room wished he'd shot 76. No one cared, I can tell you right now. No one cares. So.
That's right. I think there's a famous one. What people would say, they'd say, no one cares. Half the field doesn't care what you shot, and the other half wishes you had more.
That's right. That's it. Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it's a great quote.
At number 3, mate, this used to annoy me.
Okay,
you do your very best to get out of the way, right? And it was just a reflex. As a professional golfer, you knew when someone else has turned the putt, you would just get out of the way. But some people, even though you weren't in their way, would stop what they were doing, look at you and say, could you just move over there, please? Asking you to get out of their through line or their back line when you knew very well that when they were over the ball ready to go, there was no way they'd be able to see you. Yep. But they would ask you to get out of their line when they were reading a putt, even though you weren't in the line.
Interesting. Yeah, fair call. That was one of my advantages of being a left-hander on the tee.
Oh, yeah.
You see, because people would stand behind me and I never knew what was going on over there.
Oh, it's nice.
Whereas when I was playing with a lefty, they were on my side of the tee and I could actually probably see them out of the corner of my eye.
That's right. Well, when you're playing in twos, you can actually just get away, get on the other side.
Was that me who asked you to move?
No, it wasn't you.
I don't think we ever played together in a tournament.
We never played together ever.
No,
not even the practice round. I used to always talk to you, Wilbur, and Alana.
Yep.
You're great people. I used to love talking to you guys and just saying hello and catching up. But we never played together ever.
All
right. Okay. Let's just say you weren't on good terms with somebody and you ended up beating them on the day, right? And for the week, you got them.
Yep.
And you hold that final putt and you looked up to shake hands.
And they're gone.
And they were gone.
Wow.
Poor sporting behaviour.
It's called a dick move.
It is. Monty.
Okay.
And number 1, same person, Nick, same person. This is my 1 and 2 from the same bloke.
All right.
You've gone through a routine. He's already asked you to move out of the way a couple of times. You're just about to pull the trigger and whoosh,
oh no,
rips his Velcro glove open when you're about to. Honestly, my 1, 2, and 3 all the same bloke, by the way.
Yeah, that's a horrible move, that
Just rotten things to do as a professional.
I'd say once in a pro's career it happens by accident.
Yes.
But it's so rare.
I've apologised for it.
Unless it's on purpose.
I've apologised for it because someone had gone very quick and I'm over and I'm putting my club away or wiping my hands or whatever. And I've gone whoosh, and then I heard the hit.
Or you throw.
I got a shock.
Or you throw the club back in the bag but they're just playing fast.
If they've gone too quick, sometimes you just don't realise what's going on. I've apologised. I can't remember. I might have apologised to David Diaz for doing that at one stage.
Go. Okay.
Dirty, good to see you. Yeah. He listens every week.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I reckon they'd know if you did it on purpose or if it's a pure accident. They'd know. They'd know.
Yeah.
You would know. Like you know someone's doing that sort of stuff deliberately.
Well, put it this way. If you apologise like that, you know it's an accident. Yeah. If they don't apologise, well, then you know it's
They're
deliberate.
having fun with you.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, that is the Better Top 5 for Better. Get ahead of the game. Nick, time for the Ping Globals. Let's go around the world and have a bit of a browse.
Bit of a
Brilliant.
squiz.
What do you think of the Ping Global music compared to the Friday feedback music?
I usually skip over it.
We need to work on our AI, Dan. All right, Ping Globals. We're going to start a little different this week because we had an Aussie winner.
Yes, that's
Scotty Hend.
Well done, Scotty.
Winner in Morocco on the Champions Tour. Congratulations, because this guy, I mean, you talk about journeyman of golf. He's an Iron Man of golf, I will say that.
Man, yeah.
He loves golf. I think some of his comments afterwards. It was like, I love golf. Golf is me, or something.
Golf
like
is
that.
me. I'm an Iron Man. Yeah, I love hearing that. Someone who just loves it so much.
He's won on a variety of tours, and he's always lived in the US. And whenever you see him playing in Asia or over in Europe, you're thinking, how many miles has this guy covered to get there? Because he lives in Florida somewhere, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
So now he can stay at his home base, and
how many Aussies and New Zealanders have we got on the Champions Tour now? Let's go. You got Hendy, cousin Steve, then you've got the guy hold the shot to get on, Michael.
Oh, Michael Wright.
Right?
Oh, there's so many.
There's
It'll take us forever. There's 15 of them. But funnily enough, he had a 5-shot win over one of them, Steve Alker, tied for second again. And then we also almost had another 2-glove winner, Tommy Gainey.
Yeah, he was up there.
Well. He was up there, but he sort of had a tough stretch through the turn.
Tommy 2 gloves.
Yeah, so they were in Morocco, so well done to Scotty Hand. Also, my buddy Soren Keltsen had a tied for 6th, so he gets a special mention.
You always give him a special mention.
Yeah, he's my buddy.
Get him on the show. I want to talk to him.
Actually, we will.
Nick, does Hendy live in Florida, does he?
I believe so, yeah.
Does he live near that guy you were talking about earlier on?
I don't know what you're talking
nice
about.
Pick up there. Nice pick up.
We're not going to go there.
Okay.
You guys don't know who it is. It's all good.
I do.
No, you don't. Stop saying that. Anyway, at the same time, they were in Morocco. We had the Ladies European Tour event where Kelsey Bennett almost made it an Aussie double. So she took a 3-shot lead into the final round, but unfortunately she got ran down by the Canadian teen sensation Anna Huang. Shot a 66, become the youngest ever 3-time winner on the LAT.
You know, 70.
She's 73. Didn't have a great day. So had a chance to get in the playoff, but unfortunately bogeyed the final hole.
Bugger.
So the good news though is Kelsey moves into 4th on the order of merit. Top 4 get their LPGA Tour card. Come on,
Kelsey.
So there's a long way to go.
Still.
Great
Great stuff,
stuff
Kelsey.
for her. Yeah. Let's revert back to the PGA Tour where they were at the CJ Cup on the revamped TPC
Watkins,
Craig Ranch.
$25 million spend.
Wyndham Clark shot a 60. Was only the second one for the week. He had a 3-shot win over Siwoo Kim. Scotty Scheffler, another ordinary week, finishing 3rd for him. We had 2 Aussies in the field, but unfortunately it was a 6 undercut and they both missed, so we won't go there.
Okay.
DP World Tour, they had the Soudal Open in Belgium where South African Richard Stern had a 2-shot win over 6 players, his first win in 13 years.
Wow.
So very well done to him. 2 Aussies playing, Jack McCannon, tied for 24th, Jason Scrivener, tied for 30th, and I think it was also the last event for Nicholas Colsaerts.
Oh, yeah.
On the DP World Tour.
He's had a few last events, hasn't he?
Maybe, I don't know. But he's got an Aussie wife, so he has a very great affinity with Australia. So
good.
Bit of a shout out there for Nico.
Can I just add one thing?
He's commentating a bit on Live too.
This is like you added to my top 5. I've just got to add to your, what's the segment called? Pink Global Results.
He's good, isn't he?
Blades Brown finished high enough at TPC Craig Ranch to get now unlimited sponsors invitations.
Special temporary membership.
Wow.
Is what they call it.
That's big. So as a 19-year-old who didn't go to college, he's taken a risk and it may well pay off.
The only thing I'm a little worried about with him there is he has to make a decision, I think, because top 20 Corn Ferry Tour gets your card.
Yep.
I think he's 12th at the moment.
Yep.
Or do you go the PGA Tour route and back yourself to keep playing well and get your card that way? So, yeah.
How high up is he at the moment?
I don't know on the PGA Tour.
Right.
I'd have to look that one up. He must be doing okay, though, so to get that.
Yep.
Anyway, they went back to Korea on the Asian Tour. No cheating this week, so that was good.
Well done, Korea.
That we know of.
That is fabulous.
We know of, anyway.
That is a step in the right direction.
Final day was interesting, though, because I was chatting with Austin Truslow, who plays over there in Asia, and he said the pins on the final day you wouldn't believe. Like, they put them all on crevices.
Why?
Put it this way, the leader...
Stupid.
The leader going into the final round shot 5 over 76 and he still won by 4.
So it's just stupid.
He won by 4.
So the Koreans found the way to stuff it up.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but it was a pretty tough week. But Jack Thompson was the best of the Aussies, tied for 31st, and Austin, by the way, had a tied for 13th.
I like Jack Thompson as a player.
Yeah, very good.
I hope he bounces at some stage and gets where he deserves. I think he's a terrific kid and a good a good look for our Australian golfers. I reckon he's a good player.
Yeah, he is out of South Australia. Plays out at Royal Adelaide, I think.
Yeah, does he?
I think so. Anyway, and lastly, good to see Hayden Barron have a tied for 8th on the Hotel Planet Tour in the Danish Golf Challenge. That was won by Tapio Pulkkinen. There's a name for you in golf.
Tapio. Who
ended up winning in a playoff. So, but well done to Hayden for progressing up the order of merit there.
Yeah, well done.
And that's it for this week's Ping Global Results.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, time for some feedback for Southern Golf Club, boys.
Hey, I saw one of the pictures you put up this week on socials.
Which one?
Dan. The picture of Southern.
Oh, the video.
It looked sensational.
It's
unreal. I haven't been there since I haven't played it. We were there for the second statue.
Yeah.
I have.
When they unveiled the Bob Shearer statue. Yeah, you've played it.
Yeah.
But my God,
stunning.
It looked stunning.
I might invite you out one day for a game.
Yeah, thanks.
Talk Birdie feedback. Thanks to Southern Golf Club.
This first one here comes from Alex. Boys, I love the great in-depth analysis of Cam Smith's swing last week.
Oh, good.
Which was good.
I think we should do more. I think we both enjoy it. I think people like it.
We should.
And I tell you what, I'm starting to get into some of the lessons I'm seeing on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because now our show's on YouTube, so of course they know I like golf, and I get pummeled with the best coaches giving lessons.
Yeah, that's true.
It's very interesting. I think
there
are so many different ways to teach.
Yeah, the guy I love to watch how he breaks down swings on Twitter is Jonathan Yarwood.
Oh, yeah.
His analysis is incredible.
Yep.
To watch that.
Yep.
We've had him on before. We should get him on again.
Yeah.
Have another chat, I reckon.
And you know what? I'd love to get Jonathan Yarwood on and just talk to him about the best swings in golf.
Yeah.
And just see what he thinks.
And why.
Yeah. Well, we'll come up with your 2 best swings you'd like him to have a look at, my 2 best swings and his 2 best swings.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
And he just talks us through how they work. That'd be cool.
David, hey boys, love the show. With regards to Cam Smith's change of coach, I don't think it's a slight in any way, shape or form on Grant and his reputation. That's set in stone. He took Cam to one of the best in the world. But sometimes you need a fresh voice, and that's on the player, not the coach.
Totally agree. Great point of view.
Same point from Anthony. Hello, Mark, Dan and Champion. Oh, he's calling you champion there.
Yeah, there you go.
Fair enough.
Which is good. Not sure if you've heard the Son of a Butch with Claude Harmon podcast. Have you guys heard that?
The Son of Butch.
Son of a Butch.
No, I'd like it. What a great name.
It's a great name.
Yeah.
In his latest episode, he had some good thoughts on the PGA Championship, but he also spoke about his work with Cam, which was very interesting, well worth a listen, and he'd be a great guest. Now, I went and listened to that particular episode.
Did you?
And it was indeed a great listen. And I've got a little grab of it with him talking about Cam.
Please.
Would you like to hear it?
Love
this
to.
is a great surprise,
Perfect.
Dan. Nice to see you doing
Son
some
of
work.
a Butch.
Oh, get out of here.
Well done.
I don't think Cam gets to where he is today without Grant and the role that Grant played, not only in his career, but in his life. And, I'm lucky to walk into a situation that Grant helped build the foundation for. I think when players struggle, sometimes they just need a different set of eyes, a different view on things. But there is no way Cam Smith gets to this point in his career and the successes he's had in his career without Grant Field. I think my job is to just try and come in, and I said this to Cam, my job is to try and make golf simpler for you right now. I think when players struggle and they're not hitting it good and you're working on a lot of things, it's hard to go out and play golf.
Interesting.
Good. Fabulous that he paid such a nice tribute to Grant Field there. Because, when we spoke with Richie Smith, for instance, and the way he spoke about, it's not just teaching the bloke to keep his left arm straight and his head down or whatever the hell the coach is going to tell him. It's so much involved with the relationship. And that goes with AFL football and cricket coaching and tennis coaching, the whole lot. So it is amazing to hear how far it's come, golf coaching, to where relationship is such a big and important factor.
Huge. No, I think it's one of the cornerstones of a great coach is you have to know the player.
Yeah.
What he's also said there, a different set of eyes is really important. It takes me back to when Scotty Scheffler and his coach, Randy Smith, they were talking about his putting, and he said, look, one of the hardest conversations he sort of had was, I need to get a different set of eyes. And they got him
coach.
Phil Kenyon. And to Randy Smith's credit, he said, great idea.
Yep.
Whereas if Randy had gone, oh, hang on
a second,
then
that
all
takes
of a sudden,
away from my, maybe
So-
I'm not going to get as much credit as I thought I would have.
And you can see them working together at majors, especially. You can see Randy there and Phil when he's on the practice putting green. It's a good
selfless
thing.
attitude.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yep, I highly recommend that podcast, by the way. Son of a Butch with Claude
Son
Harmon.
of a Butch.
Great name. It's a great
Almost as good as Talk Birdie to me.
Almost. It's in the same realm.
It is good. Now, this is something that, Mark, you alluded to. Well, I'm pretty sure this is what you alluded to last week on the show. This comes from Brian. Hey, Nick and Mark, love the pod, particularly the episodes where you have some of the great names on, like the King of Spain. With recent topics on the pod, including cheating, I played with a bloke this week who was telling me about plays in the club comp at the Grange recently.
Yes, I've heard about this. Yes.
Suspensions were handed out. Not pros, of course, but that behaviour is against the grain and horrific. Cheers, Brian.
Well, depends how big those gimmies are in my view, but people know my view. But
if you know the rule going in, if it's a club comp, no gimmies, well, they have to set a precedent. So
no, I get it. Folks.
Now, this is a different perspective on the cheating conversation that we've not had before. This comes from Gaz. Gaz has said, okay, there should be penalties for cheating, no doubt. But if you make the penalties too harsh, and this is the point that's a little different than we've heard before, it will slow the game down to the extent that every time a player has the slightest doubt they're in danger of infringement, they'll pause play and call an official.
I think we've got that now. I think we're at that point now. I see way too many people calling for a rules official when they know it's a stake tree and you get one club length not nearer the hole. And they wait for the guy. I think it's crazy. Or, you've hit your ball across a red line in a penalty area.
Yep.
Everyone knows what to do in the red line.
You would think.
Everybody. The yellow line, I get it. Let's call someone in because there's sometimes it's a little bit funky what you can and can't do. And if your head's spinning because you hit a bad shot, I don't mind it. But
it's every now and then in tour events, the TIO relief and things like that, where it gets, hang on, do I drop it in the second club length? Or,
there's a few.
There's a few vagary ones, but those ones are just common, basic common knowledge.
The basic ones. Yeah. You're in a sprinkler next to the green.
Okay.
Well, you should know exactly what to do if you're a professional golfer. You don't have to wait for a rules official.
Remind me again.
The rules have changed.
Let's call a ruling.
You drop it. But, they'd be worried about whether I could drop it on the green.
I know.
All those sort of things, which you can. We've seen that happen recently. I think they could tidy that rule up.
You can't drop it on the green.
Can't you place it on the green?
No.
Well, you can definitely.
Not if you're off the green. You can never place it on the green.
Well, what about when you're in the rough? And
here we go. We're going to call a rules official.
I've seen plenty of people, the ball's in the rough in a sprinkler tap, get their relief and drop it onto a shorter cut.
Of course you can. Yeah, but the putting green is sacred.
Well, why isn't everything should be sacred then? Whatever cut there is, it should be sacred.
All right. There could be a mini in this.
We need a rules official.
All right, a few comments on the
Langers.
Let's get Langers on.
Yeah, a few comments on the AO here. This comes from Andy. Hello, Dan, Nick, and Mark. Interested in your comments on the Australian Open moving around the country. I think it's a great idea. I would not mind seeing an Oz Open being played in Western Australia.
Yeah.
I live in New South Wales, and with the time difference, it'd be awesome to see the broadcast back to the east at 7 or 8 p.m., particularly Saturday and Sunday.
That would be great.
I think that would work particularly in the late November, December summertime slot. Well, how good to play golf all day and come back and watch the Open in the evening.
You were saying earlier, Andre Lortie just played Mount Lawley.
Loved it.
Golf club.
Absolutely loved it.
It
was the highlight of his trip.
Yeah. The only downside to Mount Lawley hosting Australian Open, it's probably a little short.
A little short.
Karen,
could they make it a past 70?
Yes. That's the other way to do it. I like that idea.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect at the moment for a women's Australian Open. If they're going to do a men's, they'd have to shave, probably 2 strokes off it. Although in the men's WA Open, the winning score, Mark Leishman played, by the way, winning score was 7 under.
Yeah.
Past 72.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not too short.
Well, you're right. Maybe it's not. I love that idea where, it's a past 72 for members. And then if the US Open comes to town or an Australian Open comes to town, 2 of those par 5s end up as a par 4. So that they've done that at Huntingdale. What used to be the old 10th at Huntingdale, it's now the 10, 11, 12. It's now the 13th hole. That now will be it's a par 5 for members, but if they have a tournament there, if the Masters comes back one day or whatever, that will play as a par 4. And I'm sure they do that for the leading amateurs as well.
Yeah.
Where that whole, and I think that's just a beautiful natural way of doing things, because then the course record's always the course record.
Yeah.
You know, even though the par might be different.
The numbers.
The number. Yeah, you're playing the same course.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to the 4 par 5s in Mount Lawley. The only one you'd really want to turn into a par 4 is I've got to think about the current situation, the 8th hole. Used to be the old 17th because they've switched the 9s. That one you'd make a par 4. The other par 5s, I'd say you'd probably leave them as a par 5, but the W Open showed the defence of the course. Yeah. It's not all about length. So
if we ever did a Talk Birdie to Me Western Australian trip, and we were going to play 3 courses.
Yep.
Mount Lawley 1.
Yep.
Lake Carrinup 2.
Sure.
What's the next?
Kennedy Bay.
Kennedy Bay.
Straight off the top of my tongue.
Have they built a clubhouse there yet?
I don't know. There's always been these rumours about it. It's called the Links at Kennedy Bay, but I heard they were redoing the course, and I think it's a fabulous course.
Because when I played there, when it had just opened, and I can't remember the course, but I can remember being so impressed with it. But at the time, they just had a little caravan there where you paid your grief fees. Anyway, so I've rocked up. It's early in the morning, and I've knocked on the caravan, and
someone's asleep.
The window, like they had this side window that would open up, like like it was an ice cream, like an ice cream van or something. The window opened up, and all this marijuana smoke came jumping out. Right, I've got this huge whiff of it, and these kids come up like a real stoner.
Wow.
And going, you guys here at the 8 a.m.? I said, yeah, mate. It was like Cheech and Chong.
Wow.
Anyway.
He's stoned at 8 in the morning.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it was that
to
Kentucky.
The bejesus, he was stoned.
Kentucky bluegrass. They didn't. They don't have any of that down there. But anyway,
I'll never forget it as long as I live.
A couple more on the open here, guys. This one's from Peter. Sorry, guys, I found it outrageous that pro golf is so wrapped up in greed that players are paid to play in major events like the Oz Open. They should give back to the game that has provided them with untold riches. There is no respect for the game.
They're paid to play in the majors.
No, he said the Australian Open.
Oh, the Australian.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry.
Australian Open, Australian PGA.
No, he's written major events. I might have.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was majors.
Yeah, so Australian Open, Australian PGA. I get your sentiment, but if I was a player and I could get it, I'd take it. Then if there was a moratorium, if they said, hey, listen, everybody.
When you've got to make a 24-hour trip to come down for a lot of the players, they don't want to do it.
It's in holiday season.
Yeah.
Look, unfortunately, and this is the hardest bit to say out loud, that unfortunately, if you're on the PGA Tour, if you've been playing Europe all year, that November, December date is a headache.
It is.
Okay, on this topic of players, this is from Christopher. It's a really interesting question. I'm wondering if Golf Australia could only afford to pay to bring one golfer, one big name, as in Rory, to the Australian Open, and if Rory was unavailable, who would you go for next? I'll bet, Mark, you pick Ludwig.
Well, yeah, I'd like to see Ludwig.
But you can only pay one. You got $3 million to pay someone to come down and play. Rory's unavailable. Who are you going for?
Ludwig and I could talk about being a past number 1 at Texas Tech on that team. We had that in common. Who would I like to see?
The 2 names come to mind for me.
Yeah, well, Scheffler.
No.
Too
Scheffler's neither.
boring.
If we want something different, a bit of a spark, I think Spieth. He'd be awesome, and also
As a past Australian Open
and Bryson.
champ? Yeah,
I mean, Bryson. He's just. I know he hasn't played well in the majors or anything, but
what?
The buzz he would create down here would be enormous.
You've got me. You've changed my mind. Yeah, Bryson is the guy. My boy, who is a basketballer and never took the golf, he looks at golf like I look at lawn bowls.
I watch YouTube now.
He watches Bryson. I catch him watching Bryson. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I like him.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. I think Bryson's the guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Last one here. We had a lot of comments last week about the Lions discussion. Remember we talked about the Lions and where they're from, where Lions live, and we were
Lions and Tigers.
Shamefully, all 3 of us were unsure.
Yeah.
John, we had a heap of comments. I'll read one because we couldn't go through 10.
Yeah.
John has said lions are generally from Africa, boys, but there are subspecies of lions that still exist in India. So basically, saying Africa and India.
Oh, we got that right there.
There you go.
Right.
We were kind of right. I think we said Africa, didn't we?
I think we said both. We were just tossing up whether it was India or Africa.
The zoo.
I feel we should.
That's
I feel we should have paid more attention in high school, but we did not. All right, boys, that is the feedback for today for Southern Golf Club. Masterclass today, yours today, Nick?
It is.
It's a good one. I know what it is. It's a beauty too.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right.
All right.
What I'm working on in my swing at the moment is being able to sync my lower body to my upper body on the way down. The Hyperflex shoe offers the stability and comfort that I'm looking for in my golf swing. Golf shoes are a huge part of golf equipment, especially when I'm working with the longer clubs like 3-wood and driver. I'm really able to go to another gear and know that I'm going to be supported. My name is Elvis Smiley and these are my FJs.
Siwoo Kim, I noticed something very interesting with his putting on the weekend in the PGA Tour event in Dallas, and what he was doing is, on the shorter putts, he was looking at the hole, a little bit like Jordan Spieth does, and then hitting the putt. Exactly where he wanted the ball to go. Now on the longer putts, he's doing something similar, but he was actually looking at something on his target line as he stroked. Now I think that's a great drill for everyone, where I put a coin just a couple of feet in front. Now you could use one of those old school markers, which is a bit flatter than a coin. But it's a great drill where you're actually going to start the ball on your intended line and you're looking at this spot. Some people even like to look at the hole as they putt on these longer ones, but I think that's a tough thing to do. Obviously, most people, they just look at the ball and hit the putt. But if you look at a couple of feet in front, that's going to help you start the ball on line as a great practice drill. And what Siwoo Kim did was he'd look up to the hole, back to the ball, look at the intended spot he wanted to start it on, and then just roll it over that. And I'll tell you what, he made a lot of putts because he finished 27 under for the week. The only downside was Wyndham Clark beat him by 3. He finished 30 under. Still some pretty impressive golf.
Siwoo Kim, I didn't know what he was doing. I'm glad you've worked it out.
Well, I was watching the TV and I saw his head move. You know, as you watch players, they go to the hole, back to the ball, and then all of a sudden I saw his head move up like a couple of feet at a time. I know he's not looking at the ball. I'm going, what's going on here? And then the more I saw it, I understood what he's doing. And I've done it where on shorter putts, I'm looking at the hole, and I like that.
Yeah.
But on the longer putts, I think it could really work well to help people start the ball online, because that's what it's all about. And it'd be a great drill too.
When I saw it, I thought maybe he was doing it so he didn't see his backswing. You know how sometimes you can get too focused on your backswing?
Well, that's the other benefit. You don't worry about your stroke.
You don't watch the club go back.
Because that happens every now. You go, ooh, I better come over it.
I play with a lot of people who watch their backswing and they watch their own wobble and they hate the wobble. And
I see players that watch their backswing on the full swing.
I thought maybe he was doing that so he, wasn't seeing his backswing, but you've nailed it. He's done exactly that. And I've never heard of that technique before either.
Target-focused putting, apparently is what they're calling it.
Like you say.
Great putting drill. Just put a coin out there, away you go.
Good on you, Nicholas.
All right.
Hopefully I'll see Long Island one day. And folks, we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, I wouldn't wait too long.
Talk Birdie to Me with Nick O'Hearn and Mark Allen. Live from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. FootJoy, the #1 shoe and glove in golf. The golf clearance outlet, they beat everyone's prices. Better, ahead of the game. Ping will help you play your best. And Host Plus, they can help you drive your retirement further. Now that's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. This is general advice. Consider the PDS and TMD on our website before deciding. Wherever you listen or watch, we'd love you to subscribe and share the pod with a friend. Talk Birdie to Me's executive producer is Dan Bradley at Kaizen Media. Sound design by Daryl Misson at loudzebra.com. And now from Titleist and FootJoy headquarters, that's been Talk Birdie to Me.